Lectures on Meditation, delivered at the Washington Hall, San Francisco, April 3, 1900. Meditation has been laid stress upon by all religions. The meditative state of the mind is declared by the yogis to be the highest state in which the mind exists. When the mind is studying the external object, it identifies with it, loses itself. To use the simile of an old Indian philosopher, the soul of man is like a piece of crystal, but it takes color of whatever is near it. Whatever the soul touches, it has to take its color. That is the difficulty. That constitutes the bondage. The color is so strong, the crystal forgets itself and identifies itself with the color. Suppose a red flower is near the crystal, and the crystal takes the color and forgets itself, thinks it's red. We have taken the color of the body and have forgotten what we are. All the difficulties that follow come from that one dead body. All our fears, all worries, anxieties, troubles, mistakes, weaknesses, evil are from that one great blunder that we are bodies. This is the ordinary person. It is a person taking the color of the flower near to it. We are no more bodies than the crystal is the red flower. The practice of meditation is pursued. The crystal knows what it is, takes its own color. It is meditation that brings us nearer to the truth than anything else. In India, two persons meet. In English, they say, "How do you do?" The English greeting is, "Are you upon yourself?" The moment you stand upon something else, you run the risk of being miserable. This is what I mean by meditation. The soul trying to stand upon itself. That state must surely be the healthiest state of the soul when it is thinking of itself, residing in its own glory. No, all other methods that we have by exciting emotions, prayers, and all that really have that one end in view. In deep emotional excitement, the soul tries to stand upon itself. Although the emotion may arise from anything external, there is concentration of mind. There are three stages of meditation. The first is what is called dharan, concentrating the mind upon an object. I try to concentrate my mind upon this glass, excluding every other object from my mind except this glass. But the mind is wavering. When it has become strong and does not waver so much, it is called dhyan, meditation. And then there's a still higher rate when the differentiation between the glass and myself is lost, samadhi, or absorption. The mind and the glass are identical. I do not see any difference. All the senses stop and all the powers that have been working through other channels of other senses are focused in the mind. Then this glass is under the power of the mind entirely. This is to be realized. It is a tremendous play played by the yogis. Take for granted the external object exists. Then that which is really outside of us is not what we see. The glass that I see is not the external object, certainly. That external something which is a glass I do not know and will never know. Something produces an impression upon me. Immediately I send the reaction towards that, and the glass is a result of the combination of these two. Action from outside, X. Action from inside, Y. The glass is XY. When you look at X, call it external world, at Y, internal world. If you try to distinguish which is in your mind and which is in the world, there is no such distinction. The world is a combination of you and something else. Let us take another example. You are dropping stones upon a smooth surface of a lake. Every stone you drop is followed by a reaction. The stone is covered by a little wave in the lake. Similarly, external things like the stones dropping into the lake of mind. So we do not really see the external. We see the wave only. These waves that rise in the minds have caused many things outside. We are not discussing the merits of idealism and realism. We take for granted that the things exist outside, but what we see is different from the things that exist outside as we see what exists outside plus ourselves. Suppose I take my contribution out of the glass. What remains? Almost nothing. The glass will disappear. If I take my contribution from the table, what will remain of the table? Certainly not this table, because it was a mixture of the outside plus my contribution. The poor lake has got thrown into the wave towards a stone whenever the stone is thrown in it. The mind must create the wave towards any sensation. Suppose we can withhold the mind. At once we are masters. We refuse to contribute our share to all these phenomena. If I do not contribute my share, it has got to stop. You are creating this bondage all the time. How? By putting in your share. We are all making our own beds, forging our own chains. When the identifying ceases between this external object and myself, then I will be able to take my contribution off, and then this thing will disappear. Then I will say, here is the glass, and then take my mind off and it disappears. If you can take away your share, you can walk upon water. What should I drown you anymore? What of poison? No more difficulties. In every phenomena in nature, you contribute at least half, and the nature brings half. If your half is taken off, the thing must stop. To every action, there is an equal reaction. If a man strikes me and wounds me, it is that man's action and my body's reaction. Suppose I have so much power over the body that I can resist even the automatic action. Can such power be attained? The book says it can. If you stumble on it, it is a miracle. If you learn it scientifically, it's called yoga. I've seen people healed by the power of mind. There is a miracle worker. We say he prays and then the man is healed. And the man says, not at all. It is just the power of the mind. The man is scientific. He knows what he is about. The power of meditation gets us everything. If you want to get power over nature, you can have it through meditation. It is through the power of meditation all scientific facts are discovered today. They study the subject and forget everything, their own identity and everything, and then the great fact comes like a flash. Some people think it is inspiration. There is no more inspiration than there is expiration. And never was anything got for nothing. The highest so-called inspiration was the work of Jesus. He worked hard for ages in previous births. That was a result of his previous work, hard work. It is all nonsense to talk about inspiration. Had it been, it would have fallen like rain. Inspired people in any line of thought only came to among nations who have general education and culture. There is no inspiration. Whatever passes for inspiration is a result that comes from causes already in the mind. One day, flash comes the result. Their past work was the cause. Therein also, you see the power of meditation, intensity of thought. These men churn up their own souls. Great truths come to the surface and become manifest. Therefore, the practice of meditation is a great scientific method of knowledge. There is no knowledge without the power of meditation. From ignorance, superstition, etc., we can be cured by meditation from the time being and no more. Suppose a man has told me that if you drink such a poison, you will be killed, and another man comes in the night and says, go drink the poison, and I am not killed. What happens is this. My mind cut out from the meditation the identity between the poison and myself just for the time being. In another case of drinking the poison, I will be killed. If I know the reason and scientifically raise myself up to the state of meditation, I can save anyone. This is what the books say. But how far is it correct? You must appraise. I'm asked, why do you Indian people not conquer these things? You claim all the time to be superior to all other people. You practice yoga and do it quicker than anybody else. You are fitter. Carry it out. If you are great people, you ought to have a great system. You'll have to say goodbye to all the gods. Let them go to sleep as you take up the great philosophers. You are mere babies, as superstitious as the rest of the world. And all your claims are failures. If you have claims, stand up and be bold, and all the heaven that ever existed is yours. There is a musk deer with a fragrance inside, and he does not know where the fragrance comes from. Then, after days and days, he finds it in himself. All these gods and demons are within them. Find out by the powers of reason, education, and culture that it is all in yourself. No more gods and superstitions. You want to be rational, to be yogis, really spiritual. My reply is with you too, everything is material. What is more material than God sitting on a throne? You look down upon the poor man who is worshipping the image. You are no better. And you, gold worshippers, what are you? The image worshippers worship the God, something that he can see. But you do not even do that. You do not worship the spirit or something that you can understand. Word worshippers, God is spirit. God is spirit and should be worshipped in spirit and faith. Where does the spirit reside? On a tree, on a cloud? What do you mean by God being ours? You are a spirit. That is the first fundamental belief you must never give up. I am a spiritual being. It is there. All the skills of yoga and the system of meditation and everything is just to find him there. Why am I saying all this just now? Until you fix the location, you cannot talk. You fix it up in heaven and all the world ever except in the right place. I am spirit, and therefore spirit of all spirits must be in my soul. Those who think it anywhere else are ignorant. Therefore, it is to be sought here in this heaven. All the heaven that ever existed is within myself. There are some sages who, knowing this, turn their eyes inwards and find the spirit of all spirits in their own spirit. That is the scope of meditation. Find out the truth about God, about your own soul, and thus attain to liberation. You are all running after life, and we find that is foolishness. There is something much higher than life even. This life is inferior material. Why should I live at all? I am something higher than life. Living is always slavery. We always get mixed up. Everything is a continuous chain of slavery. You get something, and no man can teach another. It is through experience we learn. That young man cannot be pursued, that there are any difficulties in life. You cannot persuade the old man that life is all smooth. He has had many experiences. That is the difference. By the power of meditation, we have got to control step by step all these things. We have seen philosophically that all these differentiations, spirit, mind, matter, etc., have no real existences. Whatever exists is one. There cannot be many. That is what is meant by science and knowledge. Ignorance sees manifold. Knowledge realizes one. Reducing the many into one is science. The whole of the universe has been demonstrated into one. That science is called the science of Vedanta. The whole universe is one. The one runs through all this seeming variety. We have all these variations now, and we see them, what we call the 5 elements: solid, liquid, gaseous, luminous, ethereal. After that, the state of existence is mental, and beyond that, spiritual. Not that spirit is one and mind is another, ether is another, and so on. It is a one existence appearing in all these variations. To go back, the solid must be liquid. The way elements evolved, they must go back. The solids will become liquid, etherized. That is the idea of microcosm and universal. There is the external universe and universal spirit, mind, ether, gas, luminosity, liquid, solid. The same with the mind. I'm exactly the same in microcosm. I am the spirit, I am mind, I am ether, solid, liquid, gas. What I want to do is go back to my spiritual state. It is for the individual to live the life of the universe in one short life. Thus, man can be free in this life. He is his own short lifetime, shall have the power to live the whole extent of life. We all struggle. If we cannot reach the absolute, we will get somewhere and it will get better than we are now. Meditation consists in this practice of dissolving everything into the ultimate reality, spirit, The solids melts into liquid, that into gas, gas into ether, then mind, and mind will melt away. All is spirit. Some of the yogis claim that this body will become liquid, etc. You'll be able to do anything with it, make it little, or gas pass through this wall, they claim. I do not know. I have never seen anybody do it, but it is in the books. We have no reason to disbelieve the books. Possibly some of us will be able to do it in this life. Like a flash, it comes as a result of our past work. Who knows, but here are old yogis with just a little to do with to finish the whole work. Practice. Meditation, comes by the process of imagination. You go through all these processes, purification of elements, making one melt the other, that into the next higher, that into the mind, that into spirit, and then you are spirit. Spirit is always free, omnipotent, omniscient. Of course, under God. There cannot be many gods. These liberated souls are wonderfully powerful, almost omnipotent. But none can be as powerful as God. If one liberated soul said, I will make this planet go away, and another said, I will make it go that way, there will be confusion. Don't you make this mistake. When I say in English, I am God, it is because I have no better word. In Sanskrit, God means absolute existence, knowledge, and wisdom, infinite self, luminous, consciousness. No person, it is impersonal. I am never Ram, never one with Ishwar, the personal aspect of God, but I am one with Brahman, the impersonal, all-pervading existence. Here is a huge mass of clay. Out of that clay, I made a little mouse, and you made a little elephant. Both are clay. Melt both down, there is essentially one. I and my father are one, but the clay mouse can never be one with the clay elephant. I stop somewhere. I have little knowledge. You are little more, you stop somewhere. There is one soul which is greatest of all. That is Ishwar, Lord of Yoga, God as creator, with attributes. He is the individual. He is omnipotent. He resides in every heart. There is no body. He does not need a body. All you get by the practice of meditation, etc., you can get by meditation upon Ishwar, Lord of Yogis. The same can be attained by meditating upon a great soul or upon the harmony of life. These are called objective meditations. You can begin to meditate upon certain external things, objective things, either outside or inside. If you take a long sentence, there is no meditation at all. That is simply trying to get mind collected by repetition. Meditation means mind is turned back upon itself. The mind stops all the thought waves and the world stops. Your consciousness expands. Every time you meditate, you will keep your growth. Work a little harder, more and more, and the meditation comes. You do not feel the body or anything else. When you come out of it, after the hour, you have had the most beautiful rest you have ever had in your life. That is the only way you ever give rest to your system. Not even the deepest sleep will give you such rest as that. The mind goes on jumping even in the deepest sleep. Just those few minutes in meditation, your brain has almost stopped. Just a little vitality is kept up. You forget the body. You may be cut into pieces and not feel it at all. You feel such pleasure in it. You become so light. This perfect rest will get in meditation. Then meditation upon different objects. There are meditation upon different centers of the spine. According to the yogis, there are two nerves in the spinal column called Ida and Pingala. They are the main channels through which the efferent and efferent currents travel. The hollow canal called Sushumna runs through the middle of the spinal column. The yogis claim this cord is closed, but by the power of meditation, it has to be opened. The energy has to be sent down the base of the spine, and Kundalini rises. The world will be changed. Thousands of divine beings are standing about you. You do not see them because our world is determined by our senses. We can only see this outside. Let us call it X. We see that X according to our mental state. Let us take the tree standing outside. A thief came, and what did he see in the stump? A policeman. The child saw a huge ghost. The young man was waiting for his sweetheart, and what did he see? His sweetheart. But the stump of the tree has not changed. It remains the same. That is God Himself, and with our foolishness we see Him to be man, to be dust, to be dumb, miserable. Those who are similarly constituted with group together naturally and live in the same world. Otherwise stated, you live in the same place. All the heavens and all the hells are right here. For example, take the planes in the form of big circles cutting each other at certain points. On this plane in one circle, we can be in touch with a certain point in another circle. If the mind gets to the center, you will begin to be conscious in all planes. In meditation, sometimes you touch another plane and you see other beings, disembodied spirits, and so on. You get there by the power of meditation. This power is changing our senses, you see, refining our senses. If you begin to practice meditation 5 days, you will feel the pain from within these centers of consciousness and hearing become finer. That is why all the Indian gods have 3 eyes. That is a psychic eye that opens out and shows your spiritual things. As this power of Kundalini rises from one center to the other in the spine, it changes the senses and you begin to see this world another. It is heaven. You cannot talk. Then the Kundalini goes down to the lower centers. You are again man until the Kundalini reaches the brain. All the centers have been passed, and the whole vision vanishes you, and you perceive nothing but the one existence. You are God. All the heavens you make out of Him, all the worlds out of Him. He is the one existence. Nothing else exists.